So I've just taken the bus from Surbiton High Street to Box Hill and stopped at the waterfalls entrance. What's the bus stop called? North Downs Way bus stop. North Downs Way sign, and I'm going to start down here. There's oh, bikes. Woo. Wow. It's been beautiful. It took like 40 minutes to get here, roughly. Absolutely beautiful golf courses and countryside. But I think Stepping Stones is here. There's like a river with stepping stones, and then Box Hill's up the top there, and you get a view over London. Should be really nice. So here we go, the stepping stones. We're here, go across there, and then up to Box Hill Fort, and there's a viewpoint, and then maybe down, we'll see. Zigzag road, it's famous. Really beautiful forest walk. It's hot as heck today. It's about 30 degrees. It's about 11:30 in the morning. Really nice. Have a quick. Stepping stones.
Oh, that was a good one. Yeah. I've just learned how to. I was trying to do it as a teacher.
I haven't breathed this hard for a long time. That's the view. I've been going about 20 minutes. Beautiful view. That's looking south, I think, towards Brighton. Oh my goodness. And that is, what's that? Not Leatherhead. Oh, maybe Leatherhead. Wow, almost at the top of Box Hill. What a view. It's a really steep climb. It could be like one of those long shallow climbs, but it's up here basically. It's like vroom, straight up, and then you get these amazing views. It's beautiful out here. Oh, what a day. Yeah, more of a view. So where we are now, London's back that way. I think about 15 miles to the edge of London where I live. It's incredible, isn't it? I mean, just green and fields. Okay, so this is interesting. This is Box Hill Fort. And apparently in the 1800s, when we still had the British Empire, all of our soldiers were spread out around the world, and they became worried that London could be attacked by an invading power coming in off the ocean and then marching towards London. So they built a series of forts, including Box Hill Fort, covering 72 miles, I think it said, around London, spread out around London, in case someone like the French or the Spanish decided to invade. How interesting. Never knew about that. Now referred to as forts, they were originally commissioned as mobilisation centres designed to supply depots, provide tools and ammunition to regular soldiers, volunteers and contracted labour. How interesting. Yeah, so 72 miles, and known as the London Defence Scheme, designed as a last-ditch line to protect London from the south and the east. Okay. Huh. So up there, I didn't film it, but that's like a visit centre. There's a cafe, there's takeout food, toilets, maps, and about 1 million people. But as soon as you get onto this path, which goes back down towards Leatherhead and a viewpoint, there's no people, which is beautiful. That's exactly what I wanted. I wanted to get away from people, have some nice peace and quiet. I haven't been out of London for, oh my god, when was the last time I went out of London? Probably to see my sister last year. It's been a year maybe since I left London, which is really sad for someone that loves to explore as much as I do. Not just around England but around the world. To be stuck in one place, I can't lie, it's been so depressing. Oh, I'm desperate to get out of this place. It's so hard to save money because rent's so high. The jobs aren't that well paid, so you can't save money. So another cracking view down there. I think that's the road I came in on there, and it dropped us off just down there somewhere. Down we go. So now this is looking back towards London, and I do have a route mapped out that goes all the way back, but it's about, it says 4-hour walk, but it might take me 6, I reckon. I might have a go. Yeah, I can't remember the name of the walk. It's Thames Down Link, maybe it's the Thames Down Link, and it goes pretty much from a bit past Box Hill over there to Kingston upon Thames. But I've just got the bus here this morning and it takes 40 minutes on the bus. It's quite a long way, but I have thought about doing it in the past, and now I'm already here. What I might do is see how much of it I can walk today, and if I get really tired I can just hop on as long as I don't get too far away from the bus route, I can hop back on the bus. So that might be the plan, because the walk you go across, well, it's obviously beautiful out here. You've got Epsom Downs over there, that's where Epsom racecourse is. I've been up there once before, it's really beautiful, and it's just basically the path that I've got mapped out on my phone. I think it's the Thames Down Link, cuts through countryside all the way back to Kingston. I've done about, I don't know, I've done a few miles of it, as far as Horton Country Park from Kingston, but I haven't done the rest of it. Nice hill. So I saw some people get off my bus before me, and they've just gone past me up there, so they must have come up here and I went the other way. I started at the stepping stones. But look at that house up there, that must be worth, bloody hell, millions and millions and millions, maybe one day. Yeah, so if you come into Box Hill, I'd say start at the stepping stones down there and come up to the viewing point at the top, which looks south towards Brighton, and then come the other way down back towards Leatherhead direction, and you get this view, because on the other side you're as you go up from the waterfalls to the top, you're in trees most of the time. You don't get a view pretty much till you get to the top, whereas coming down this way, as you can see, it's completely open and you get a lovely view over the countryside. Now the river's down there. I'm wondering if I can follow that river, if that goes to Leatherhead, because I noticed there was a river running through Leatherhead, so and Leatherhead looks beautiful, so I might make that my next objective. I think it's about 2 or 3 miles from it. See if we can get there, see what we can do. Woo! Don't know if anyone ever played roly-poly when you were a kid, but this must be like the ultimate roly-poly hill. Start at the top and roll your way down. Like we used to go to the hills in Henley and Arden, up in Brum, and they've got some really good roly-poly hills there, but this one is like epic. Imagine if it snowed as well. This would be like a perfect ski slope, right? In the winter, get your sledge out. It's a hell of a way. So I think, got the runner. He's having a drink. I think this is the famous zigzag lane which they all cycle up. The bus dropped the other people off this morning, just there. Or maybe not just there. Dorking that way, that's where my bus terminates. Oh look, bike shop and cafe, 3.1 miles. Okay, so if you go up zigzag lane, it's 3.1 miles. You got a sign for Box Hill there. Mickleham is a nice little village down here, and then after that it's Dorking. So I might try walking this way for a bit. And my path, Thames Downlink, connects just off the road to the right up there. So let's see where. I'll get my phone out in a minute and have a look at the route. So I stood a little bit in the road there, and the cyclist looked angry at me, like he wanted me to move. Cyclists so aggressive. They're a different breed. Right, here we go. This is a beautiful little fairyland of trees. Got the road down there. This is the public footpath. This is one good thing about the UK that's not common in Asia or Southeast Asia. Japan's quite good for it, but public footpaths. Good luck in Thailand finding many public footpaths. And if you're not familiar with the UK, you just have to come to the UK to realise that basically the public footpaths cover the whole of the UK. You can go pretty much anywhere on them, and they're protected. They're not allowed to construct across them or block them in any way. They go across farmers' fields, they go through farms, they go wherever they want to go, basically. It's pretty good, pretty good. Yeah, it's quite funny. Like, I heard about Leatherhead when I was younger. I knew it was just like on the outskirts of London. I had it in my head it was like an industrial town, the same as it's another place nearby. It begins with Guildford. But they're beautiful little like village-style towns with all the old buildings. And then as we came through Leatherhead on the bus, there were all these people sat out at cafes. One cafe had a rack for all the bicycles, because a lot of cyclists kind of start in Leatherhead, come up here and then do Box Hill and go back. So they'd put like racks so they could stack the bikes high, and then they were all sat. The cafe was packed with people having their breakfast, so they must have gone up early this morning. It's about midday now. I went past them about 11 o'clock. So yeah, I'm gonna try and get to Leatherhead and have a walk around the town, because it looks really nice. It's got a river running alongside it. It's got some nice little cafes and shops. So I'm going to have a look at Leatherhead if we can get there. So this is my first little village on the way to Mickleham, on the way to Leatherhead, which is Mickleham. Look at that little church. 1 o'clock. Okay, literally bang on 1. Just seen the 465 bus go past. That's quite unique actually, isn't it? Quite a pretty little church. So this is Box Hill School, co-educational, 11 to 18, independent day and boarding school. So if you're wondering if there's still a class divide in the UK, if you're super rich, your kids get to go to school there. Probably end up remaining super rich. That doesn't look like my school. That's crazy. I'll have to look at the fees later. See, I bet that's like 20 grand a year per kid or something. Something crazy like that. So I just looked at my map, because the bus came this way and then it goes right on that main road. I don't want to be on that main road because it's really busy. I just looked at the map, and this road used to go straight across there. and still does. So I'm going to follow Old London Road, as it's called, towards Leatherhead. It's not that far to Leatherhead. So that's the main road to Leatherhead. That's where the bus turns to go to Box Hill, and then continues and terminates in Dorking up there. And this is Old London Road. Yeah, so no vehicles are, only authorised vehicles are allowed up here, so like people that own properties. So basically there's zero traffic, which is perfect. And it's pretty much, yeah, direct to Leatherhead that way. You can hear the crickets chirping.
Maybe possibly I say come big one back up.
Absolutely cracking little spot. A couple of houses here, little cottages. The old workshop. Dog growling. I feel like I'm in the middle of nowhere. I'm not that far from London. The guy's just pulled that barrier across the road because he's about to lead all of the cows in, I guess, for milking. It's like, it could be in the middle of any, like, it could be absolutely in the middle of nowhere. I haven't been near a like proper farm with the smell of the farm for a long time. A long time. There's quite a lot of cattle. 100 more? Maybe 100? I don't know, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Getting on for 100. Friesians, that's where very common cows in the UK again. I don't know what they use in America or other places, but for our milk, we get a lot of milk out of Friesians, the black and white cows. And he's got his dog out there rounding up all the cattle. I don't think it's a sheepdog. Oh, maybe, yeah, it's a sheepdog. It's just a bit greyer than usual. They're normally black and white as well. That one's a bit grey. Maybe old like me. I've got greys. Oh, that cow doesn't like me. Hope there's no balls. Now I've got to wait now. So I want to risk walking through a herd of cows. This might take a little while. God, there's a lot of milk in there, haven't they? Gee whiz. Be filling up my 4 pinters later. Yep, it's my first time ever being stuck at a cow crossing. Been stuck at a railway crossing on a few occasions, but never a cow crossing. See the dog is chasing in the stragglers. Cute. Get this one. Get this one. So I just spent about 40 minutes chatting to that guy there who looks after the horses. He's a volunteer on the farm where the cows are crossing the road. You can see I've not come far. He's just been telling me the walking around here is amazing. He said you can walk across the fields to Dorking. He said the views once you get to the top of this hill are amazing, looking that way and that way, I think he said. And from there, top of the field, you can just see a little bit of the field there. You can see Wembley Stadium from up there. It's about a mile and a half to Leatherhead following this route, he said. Hardly seen any people. They sell their milk to Costa Coffee, the farmer was telling me, or the company that deal with Costa Coffee. So most of the milk goes to Costa. It's not for supermarkets. He said the price isn't too bad for milk at the moment. And I've just had a complete explanation of cows and how often they breed and and things like that. And that white horse there in that box is a 30-year-old thoroughbred that belongs to that gentleman in the white t-shirt, and he used to ride endurance with that horse, and he also rides endurance motorbikes, even though his knee's knackered. Really good chat with that guy, really good chat. I'm really glad I've come this way. Like I said this morning, it's the first time that I've left where I live for a long time. I need to get out more. So this is probably my favourite part of the walk. See a family ahead of me. Box Hill was like nice, not a bad view, but this part on Old London Road and then following this track is so peaceful, really nice. Onto the river down there. I was told to keep the river on my right hand side, and I'm going to get a nice view at the top here, I think. We did mention the railway line. When you head up to the viewpoint for Wembley, you go under the railway. So that's the railway going to Dorking that way and Leatherhead that way. It's interesting. And I'm just following the path across the fields. Or do I go that way? So the hill you can see in the far distance, I think that's pretty much Box Hill, where I started this morning, unless it's a little bit past there. And I'm heading through this sty. I'm not far from Leatherhead now. This is another path. And it's been a really nice walk. Just had to delete footage of the walk that I did from Richmond to Brentford, because I didn't realise I had that on my phone. It's filled up my memory. So the farmer was just telling me they've had like 12 weeks. Well, basically we've had 12 weeks of basically this weather. It's been like 30+ degrees every day for 12 weeks, which is pretty much unheard. I can't remember a summer that consistent in the UK ever. But the river is almost dried out. A lot of the grass is dead, so he's having to use winter feed to feed the cattle because there's no grass left. But he said he's still okay, still doing okay. Not too far from Leatherhead. That is proper dried out. You see a car half submerged. Look at that, it's just like literally dried. Rock bone dry. So I've reached the crossroads. Hawks Hill half a mile, Gimcrack Hill 1/4 mile, Norbury Park, that's where I just came from, 1/3 mile, and Leatherhead half a mile. Okay, this is where we're going, Leatherhead. So we're just on the outskirts of Leatherhead now. Very English. We've got a Sunday afternoon cricket game being played. You'll often see this in the summer out in the more rural places. And that is Leatherhead's leisure centre, which looks really nice. They've got football there. That looks like a swimming pool. And we've got cricket over here. Quite interesting. That's definitely more of a man's game in the UK. You see a lot of men playing cricket at the weekend. Rare to see a women's cricket team. Okay, and we are in the River Mole Local Nature Reserve. There you go, you are here. I've come from there, Norbury Park, walked along here. Now the leisure centre, and I'm going into Leatherhead, and you can continue to follow the footpath. Kingfishers. So I've got my picnic lunch, croissants, 2 croissants, almond croissant, plain croissant, some French stick. Quite an impressive building. That's the old pumping station, 1933. Getting close to 100 years old. Now, am I going the right way or not? Okay, Guildford that way. So I should cross the river in a knot pretty soon, and then we're in the town centre and have a mooch around. Right, so I've just arrived in Leatherhead. It's about 2:30. I'm gonna have my croissants, my bread, and my bananas. Loads of ducks in the river. This is Leatherhead. Just up there is Leatherhead. I'm gonna go and wander around there after lunch. So this is like the centre of Leatherhead. It's dead quiet. You can rent a flat here for about 775 quid a month, which is about half the price where I am. And that's the shopping centre, the Swan shopping centre. Just pop in there, use the facilities. So it's Sunday the 7th of August in Leatherhead. Man, it's just coming up to 4 o'clock. This place is a ghost town. So sedate and quiet here, man. It's quite interesting. Quite interesting. There's a travel lodge just there in the shopping centre. Nice quiet place to live. So this cafe, Charlie and Ginger, they've got all the bike racks on the wall. That was absolutely smashed this morning with people and their bikes. So I'm just in Leatherhead waiting to get the bus back to Surbiton. Listen to how quiet it is. This is like the main road that goes through Leatherhead city centre. Okay, it's Sunday afternoon, but still. How quiet is that? The river's just there. A couple of nice benches. Pretty bloody quiet.